Hey, Push Run Nation, Dr. Dave here. Peace, and today we're checking out the new Vaporfly version 3 from Nike. Lighter than before, more foam than before, more responsive than before. So if you're looking for that shoe that can get you to the start line of a 5K all the way up to a full marathon and everything in between, and want a fast, snappy ride to push you to a PR, stay tuned, because we're about to go over all the inside information. All right, Push Run Nation, let's do it. This has been on the market for a while, the Nike Next Vaporfly 3. However, I just got my hands on it finally. With so many super shoes dropping this year, 2023, I held off getting this shoe, but because of another research study I'm going to be doing on super shoes and the different generations of the Vaporfly, I wanted to jump on this shoe while I could. I was able to grab a good deal on this from Roadrunner Sports, where I buy the majority of my shoes and gear from. So let's go over the shoe top to bottom. As always, Nike is saying that this is their premier shoe from everything from the 5K up to the marathon, so 10K, half marathon, 10 miler, up to your full marathon, and still be able to get that comfortable ride that you've probably experienced with former iterations of the Vaporfly. Totally redesigned shoe here, so if you have had a Vaporfly in the past, don't think that you're going to pick up the version 3 and have the same experience. More than likely, it will be a better experience as far as that midsole goes, but from what I see, the upper leaves a little to be desired. So let's check some things out. The upper is an engineered mesh, extremely airy. See all those holes in the forefoot here? Yes, you can see right through it. So that's telling me, for those of you who live in cold climates, or do a lot of road racing in the winter when temperatures are maybe down in the 30s or below, unless you're wearing a heavier racing sock and a padded one, this more than likely is not the shoe for you, because the air is going to go right through those holes and chill your feet up. I live in the southern United States, in South Carolina, in the winter time, except for end of January, beginning of February, when it may get down to the low 30s, upper 20s. The most of the year, temperatures are fantastic for this shoe. Because it's a engineered mesh and almost a plasticky type feel, I doubt this upper is going to hold any, if much, moisture. The lacing system, we still have the what I call alligator sawtooth laces, as came out in the version 2 of the Vaporfly. We still have the offset lacing, which is cantered out to the lateral side, as you see from here, pointing down in that direction. We have an offset of the toe plate here that's not straight on, which would be right here. It's over here. It does not have a gusseted tongue. However, this tongue at the top is fairly wide and almost wing-shaped. So because of that, and because of the built-up kind of rubbery padded section in the middle of that tongue on the top, and where that lockdown is on the laces, it's going to hold that tongue in place. So even though it's not gusseted, it's not going to twist left or right on you. On the upper, I wouldn't call them inlays for lateral support, as a lot of shoes have, but kind of branded into that upper are kind of stronger parts on the side here, the lateral section, and on the medial side on a few parts of the lower section to give a little bit more strength. But in the aerated upper, one of the drawbacks on taking a lot of weight out of the shoe by thinning that material and putting in all those air holes is that the more air holes you have in there, the less structure you have in that upper. So hopefully the shoelace system on here locks down the foot tight enough for you that you're not going to need a lot of lateral stability on your foot. You want to make sure if you get this shoe that forefoot, which is on the narrow side, I have a narrow foot and this fits me like a glove width-wise. I do get a little bit of bunching at the bottom of the laces here when I cinch those laces down, but in just trying these on and stepping onto a hardwood floor, I could tell on the upper here that there was not a lot of support. I'll be wearing these Saturday on one of 3 of my 5K races I'll be doing. After that race, I'll be doing a video on my experience racing with them. I'll also do a video today, later on my first run, to let you know exactly how that lateral support went with that thin upper. So we went over the upper there, we went over the tongue, non-gusseted tongue, the lacing system, the toe plate. Around the ankle, one of the good features is that we have some heavy padding all the way around that ankle section to include right in the back here, which a lot of the super shoes coming out now don't have that. So what you end up having is a lack of support or padding right where you need it on the top of your Achilles. Another good feature with this shoe is that it has a fantastic heel cup, pretty hard. A couple of the newer super shoes I got in recently are from a non-existent heel cup to the Achilles protection collapsing, to not having padding on the back of the heel, the top of the heel, or Achilles, but this one has it all. As far as the front on the ankle, there's no padding going all the way around, although there is some almost more than likely synthetic leathery type material, soft, so at least that's giving some type of protection on this part of the foot right here and on the medial side right here. Let's go down to the midsole. We do have the infamous ZoomX Foam, which Nike probably is #1 in the market for that super foam. We have a new design of that midsole in that there's some cutouts here and some concave section carving out right here in order to minimize weight in the shoe. I think that foam, even though it's the ZoomX Foam, I think it's a new design or a new concoction or recipe for the foam. Nike is saying that it is the exact same foam that they've been using since the initial Vaporfly or Next% type shoe came out. However, the manner in which they put it together into this shoe is a little bit different. I think in this shoe it's a little bit denser than previous models, but that is not necessarily a bad thing. Working in conjunction with the fly plate in here, which has a little bit new design and being almost cup-shaped a little bit on that forefoot, those two things, the foam and that plate, work together to give you that snappiness. So let's get back to the midsole. We have a lot of new design features and cutouts all the way on the length of that midsole and on the medial side here. They found out through testing plenty of runners and the elite runners for Nike of where that midsole collapses, so they know exactly where to carve out a little bit of foam to help in the squishiness down and responsiveness of propelling you back up in your step. Nike is saying that they have a new convex design of the midsole, but in looking at the older shoes in the Vaporfly line, the 2 and the OG, I don't see much of a difference, and I don't know exactly what they're talking about as far as convex. It does kind of scallop out, if that's what they're referring to, as that convex forefoot to provide a little bit more stability right through here on the shoe, right in this section, which is good. Same thing on the heel, a little bit wider than previous iterations of the shoe. They have that cutout here where they know that the foot are going to be bending and cutting out a little bit of weight there so they can add it in other places and still trying to take a little bit of weight off the shoe overall. Embedded right in the middle is that fly plate, the carbon plate from Nike, and you can see a little bit of that right through the window right there in the middle of that outsole. They do have some carved out under here also to take a little weight away. They've reduced the thickness of that rubber in the forefoot by 2 millimeters. Again, takes a little bit of weight off, however, may make this shoe not last as long as previous models. However, in just feeling this, I think that it's a more durable rubber, which may mean they don't need to use as much, that it will last as long as the older rubbers that they have been using. On the heel, the medial section and lateral section of the heel on the outsole, there is hardened rubber on there. By looking at the sole this way, you can see exactly how it is cut out right here, taking some of that foam out. It is pretty design orientated on the outsole here. Again, adds in the bendability and flexing of the shoe when you're going through your stride. On the stack heights, we have in a men's 9 US, we have 38 millimeter stack in the heel, 30 millimeters in the forefoot for an 8 millimeter drop, which is about the industry norm for the super shoes. They can go anywhere from 4, actually up to 10 millimeters, but this is the sweet spot Nike found with that 8 millimeters. In a men's US size 9, Nike is saying the shoe comes in at 6.5 ounces. I'm thinking from the previous iteration or model of the Vaporfly that's shaving about a ½ ounce off of what it used to be, but in packing in more responsiveness into the shoe. That's my initial look at the Nike Next Percent Vaporfly or Vaporfly Next Percent V3. If you're interested in checking the shoe out more, stay tuned for future videos because I'll be checking out the V3 along with the V2 and the OG, which I have all three. So I'll be testing them out, measuring them, weighing them, testing out the density in the foam to tell you exactly, is this a new shoe and an improved one that will help you with your running form, allow you to run faster, and improve your running economy, which is running faster over a given distance at a lower heart rate, because that's what you're after. Nike is saying this shoe will do it for you, but Dr. Dave's going to put it to the test. So, this is Dr. Dave for Push to Run Nation. What are you racing in now? Have you tried out the Vaporfly V3 yet? If so, pop a comment down below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, think about subscribing, please, because more than half of the viewers of this channel are not subscribed and do not comment on the videos. But I'm getting ready next week to do the October drawing for our gear giveaway. And if you haven't commented on videos, you can't be entered, because that's how you win. Your comment on videos. The more you comment, the better chance you have. It's like buying a lottery ticket. Only one wins, but if you buy more lottery tickets, you have a better chance of winning. Okay? So stay tuned, comment down below, subscribe. We'll see you out in the streets and the races. Peace!